Whom everyone, and happy Tuesday. We made it through Monday, and that in itself is an accomplishment for a lot of us, right? Sometimes Monday just clutters us to oblivion and back, and we end up, needing special grounding, needing extra me time, and it's all because it's Monday, and we have this wonderful way of allowing condition to still manipulate us in very, very tiny ways as we move and learn not to allow it to do that. Again, today we're going to talk about the new cards that I'm doing. I'm putting together a galactic oracle deck. This is a manifestation and an intention and manifestation by my celestial guide. Her name, my little doggy's food, baby food, from my guide, Alanaea. Alanaea has been with me now for a few years, and she's definitely a healer, a teacher, and she comes when there is serious healing needed, and then she teaches new hand positions, and she names them, and she explains it to you. I've managed to get her in a couple of videos where she actually is teaching. Of course, she speaks light language, but we finally had a breakthrough last year, and when I'm more receptive, I can hear her in English, believe it or not. But it depends on the day and how I'm doing, because we all know we all change. But these decks, or this deck, was a manifestation that she put together, and she's like, okay, we need to do this because there's so much more information, and we want to connect more to you all, so that there's more messages coming from different places. And this is where the galactic oracle came from. Today's card being Tuesday, and this is, I want you guys to think about the word clairsentience. So what is clairsentience? It's one of the clairs. It's one of the easiest clairs for you to actually begin with and start dabbling with and playing with. It is the gift of psychic feeling. This is where you feel, you sense, or you intuit. It's a clear feeling. It's a feeling sometimes where you feel ethereal things and messages, and it's wonderful because sometimes you feel like you really are getting messages, and you just need to sit and be still and get it together, right? This is a strong awareness, this clairsentience, and the beauty of this is that you feel it inside yourself. It's like you've been given a mission, and this mission is the only thing you can concentrate on. Now, the colors that I have felt with my clairsentience is usually like a grape purplish, but dark purplish, definitely fuchsia, and the pinks, and all those beautiful colors come out. So what I do is I bring out those crystals, those agates that have those beautiful pinks, and bring them out and into the home. I like doing that, especially in the spring. The blues and the pinks, I bring them out, in the yellows, and they're just gorgeous. And I sit them around in different parts of the house, wherever they want. Sometimes they want to be on the piano. Sometimes they want to be, on the coffee table. Sometimes they want to be in my fairy altar. So it depends. And, my clairsentience fires up certain times of the week. And I sit down and I actually meditate and give it time. to give me the message that I need and to feel what it is that I need. So this is something definitely you guys need to work on. And it happens that today the card that comes out is crystal consciousness. The crystal consciousness is when you are conscious. This is you, and let's make believe this is like your clairsentience. Okay, and remember how I said there was like the pinks and the purples and stuff like that? This is how I see or how I perceive clairsentience, especially in me. I don't know how it feels for you guys, but it feels crisp, it feels light, it feels full-bodied, but at the same time it's light. And it gives me the information that I need. But with this card, the crystal consciousness card, what it's telling you is when you set out your crystals, when you hold your crystals, you do need to be more conscious of the crystal's intention towards what you're going to use it for. Is your clairsentience built up enough that you can understand what your crystal is saying? Can you really get a bunch of crystals, put them in a box, and then go throughout your home and listen to the one that says, I want to be here? Crystals have, I can explain it this way because I do give a course on crystal fairy healing. So each crystal has a, we're going to say it's a fairy content, a fairy consciousness, or a light and airy consciousness. But crystals are, they're a lot more important than we think. They're a lot more important than, you know, just healing the human body. There is a crystal grid all over the inside of the earth, okay, under the ground. That's why you find them in underground, mountains, and all of that, right? Well, this is a communication system. Clairsentience gives you communication, correct? This is when you can sense and feel. Well, this is the communication system that the earth uses. We're mining too much. Therefore, the connections from one large crystal or any crystal to the other is getting disrupted on the earth. And we need to stop that. And that's a plight that I have begun. Hopefully you guys can buy secondhand crystals. There's nothing wrong with buying secondhand crystals. Nothing bad is going to be in there because there's always something there already that is very pure and very divine, very innocent. And just the fact that it comes from the earth and it's still connected to the earth, it gives it that grounding power or energy. So if you can't go out there and ground yourself somewhere, grab crystals and grab the ones that call you through that clairsentient energy that you want to work with. All right, and use that. But clairsentience is that clair you want to work with. It's the easiest one. It's the one that really gets you going. But understand that crystals will help you with your clairsentience because you're going to start communicating with them. And why can you communicate to crystals? It sounds ludicrous. Crystals have their own consciousness. It's like a little soul, but it's from the earth. It is compared to that of fairies, very innocent, but they do communicate because they communicate in the earth's crystal grid that they have, that it has, and they communicate. They also, just like they heal humans, they help heal the earth and anything that walks on it and anything that lives under it. So that's why it's important, and that's what I do. Every once in a while, I'm done with a crystal. I've moved on from that crystal. That crystal gave me what I needed throughout my ascension, and the crystal says, bury me. Go ahead and give me back to Gaia or Pachamama. And I do. It's a beautiful ritual where we get crystals and we bury them back in the ground and we give back to Gaia so that she can begin a new communication pathway. Um, this is something that I will touch on another book that I'm going to write along. This is probably going to be for next year. But the importance of crystal consciousness and why it is that this card of all days came out today. And one of the reasons is because um, we need to be very conscious about what crystals do, what crystals don't do, and how important they are, not only to us, but to the earth. And when we take crystals and we understand that they are here to help and they are here to keep us where we need to be, we also need to honor and we also need to respect. I'm telling you right now, I get secondhand crystals, and there's nothing wrong with them. I don't care what anybody says. These are, I think of them as living, because they are. They are a living piece of the earth, because if you put them on the ground again, 10, 15, 20, 30, 50 years from now, you will have seen that they continue to grow. All right? So there's a reason why they're underground. They need to stay underground. So once I get, my little crystals, that's all I need, a handful. Put them in my pocket, and then the crystal says, bury me. I want to go back home. I do this beautiful ritual, and I give them back to Gaia or Pachamama. And it really works well. And my home has a crystal grid on its own, from the front yard to the backyard. And the energy teeming up underneath, and I can swear I don't see it. But if I were to connect to that grid, I'd probably be able to see a sphere around my home. There are crystals inside, there's crystals outside, very small, nothing big, unless, you can get them like as a gift and stuff like that, that's fine. But I do encourage you to be very conscious about what we're doing with our crystal grid system of the earth. And this card here is telling us, mind your crystals, connect with your crystals, talk to your crystals, and use your clairsentience today to do so. Meditate with your crystals, and you will see what wonderful, wonderful, wonderful messages you'll get. Thank you very much for joining me today. Thank you very much for giving me the time and space to talk to you guys about crystals, even though it's very brief, and it is my take on it. And also thank you for allowing me in your early morning to give you messages like these. Alanaya and I are very, very thankful for you to allow us to work with you. I bid you a hum. I hope you have a beautiful day. Take your crystals to work day. Have fun. Have a great day. See you tomorrow.